Every single parenting book says the same thing. Honesty is the best policy. Never lie to your children. Well, I'm here to tell you that's terrible advice. For years, child psychologists have been quietly exploring a more nuanced truth. I lie to my kids, and I'm going to explain the science behind why you should think about it too, and how certain kinds of lies can actually help your kids become more empathetic and emotionally intelligent. This isn't about raising little con artists. It's about understanding the difference between a lie that hurts and a lie that helps. We're going to take apart that guilt so many of us feel and replace it with a powerful, if totally misunderstood, parenting tool. The problem with 100% honesty. Let's get right into the big fear. You catch your kid in a lie, they swear they didn't eat the cookie, even with a face full of crumbs, and your mind just spirals. Am I raising a future supervillain? Is this a moral failure on my part? That fear is real, because we're taught that any and all deception is poison. But thinking in such black and white terms is just way too simple. And frankly, it's harmful. Here's the thing. Lying is a completely normal part of childhood. Research from psychologists like Dr. Kang Lee at the University of Toronto shows that lying is actually a good thing, a sign of a developmental milestone. The first time your 2 or 3-year-old tells a lie, it's a sign of some serious cognitive growth. It means they've developed theory of mind, the understanding that what's in their head is separate from what's in your head. They get that they can have information that you don't. That's a huge intellectual leap. The research shows that about 30% of kids lie by age 2, 50% by age 3, and by the time they're 4, it's over 80%. So the question isn't if our kids will lie, but what kind of lies they learn to tell. And maybe more importantly, what kind of lies we show them. This brings us to the main idea here. Not all lies are created equal. There's a universe of difference between self-serving, antisocial lies and what psychologists call prosocial lies. Those small, kind deceptions told to benefit other people. When you use them the right way, prosocial lies don't break trust. They actually build emotional safety, empathy, and social grace. Let's break down the 3 most important types. Lie number 1, the lie to protect, innocence, and manage overload. Picture this. Your 3-year-old is having the time of their life at the park, but it's time to go home for dinner. You know that just announcing time to go will unleash a world-ending meltdown. Instead of a long, logical speech about schedules that their little brain can't even process, you say, the park is getting sleepy. It needs to go to bed, so it'll be ready for you to play tomorrow. This isn't about tricking them. It's about translating a complicated reality into a language they get and saving them from unnecessary anxiety. Dr. Tova Klein, who directs the Barnard College Center for Toddler Development, talks about how parents act as an external brain regulator for young kids, helping them handle impulses they can't control yet. A little lie like the park is sleeping does exactly that. It sidesteps a guaranteed tantrum, keeps the good vibes going between you, and moves the day along without a total emotional breakdown. It's an act of empathy that respects your child's limits. Lie number 2. The lie of strategic praise to build confidence. Your kid comes running up, beaming with pride, holding a drawing that is, let's be honest, a chaotic scribble of brown and purple. The radical honesty parent might offer a flat, factual critique. A much better way? Wow, look at all these amazing colors you used. I love this big, strong line you made right here. Now, is this a lie if you don't think it's a masterpiece? Not really. You're not lying about the final product. You're strategically highlighting the effort. This is a core idea from researcher Carol Dweck, whose work on growth mindset shows the incredible power of praising the process over some kind of natural talent. When you praise their effort, you build resilience and a kid who actually enjoys trying new things. This kind of lie is all about focusing on the positive to build their self-esteem and encourage them to keep going. You're teaching them that their hard work is what counts, not some impossible standard of perfection. You're building their confidence, and that's worth way more than a harsh art review. Lie number 3, the lie to model empathy and social harmony. This is the classic white lie, and it's probably one of the most important social skills we can teach. It's your kid's birthday and grandma knitted them a fantastically itchy sweater. They put it on and immediately start complaining. This is a golden teaching moment. You can whisper, "Grandma made that with so much love just for you. Let's tell her thank you, I love it," because we care about her feelings more than we care about an itch. This teaches a lesson that is absolutely essential for getting along in the world. Sometimes kindness is more important than a blunt, hurtful truth. Research shows that kids start telling these kinds of prosocial lies to protect others' feelings as they get older, but they learn the basics from us much earlier. They learn that the point of talking isn't always just to transfer data, but to keep our relationships strong. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. The psychologist Robin Dunbar has studied how human language might have evolved for social purposes, with gossip acting as a sort of vocal grooming to build trust and alliances. Teaching a child to tell a polite white lie is a practical lesson in that kind of social grooming. It's teaching them how to be a successful, kind member of a very social species. Okay, this is the most important part, so listen up. Everything I'm saying comes with a giant warning label. Being okay with prosocial lies is not a free pass for all-out deception. There is a very clear line, and crossing it can cause real damage. The difference is all about intent. Prosocial lies are other-focused. They're for someone else's benefit. Antisocial lies are self-focused, told to get out of trouble, get something you didn't earn, or manipulate someone. A 2024 study from NTU Singapore is really important here. Researchers looked at over 500 parent-child pairs and found that when parents use instrumental lies, the kind told to control behavior like, "If you don't behave, I'll call the police," their kids are more likely to lie back to them. The study also found that parental white lies can lead to more lying from kids, but only if the child finds out they've been lied to. That's the danger zone. When a child feels tricked or manipulated, trust disappears. If your prosocial lie gets discovered and feels like a betrayal, it backfires completely. All it teaches is that lying is a good tool for getting what you want. This is why the context and how you say it matters so much. The goal is never to build a fake reality for your kid, but to gently guide them through moments their developing brain just isn't ready for. It's the difference between "the park is sleepy" and "I'll buy you a toy later" when you have zero intention of doing so. The first is a harmless fiction, the second is a broken promise that destroys trust. So, how do we use this tool without messing up? First, keep it simple and short. These lies should be tiny, temporary bridges over an emotional hurdle, not some elaborate, long-running fantasy. Second, always put connection before control. Ask yourself, am I saying this to make my life easier or to protect my child's emotional state? One is selfish, the other is loving. Third, as your child gets older, you have to switch from these gentle fictions to honest, age-appropriate talks. A fib about where babies come from is fine for a 4-year-old, but not so much for a 10-year-old. You have to evolve as they do. And finally, make your home a place where telling the truth is safe. Ironically, the best way to get more honesty is to react calmly to the truth, even when it's something you don't want to hear. If a child knows they can tell you they broke the vase and you'll figure it out together instead of exploding, they have way less reason to lie. Parenting isn't about following some rigid, absolute rulebook of truth. It's about teaching emotional intelligence. It's about giving our kids the tools to get by in a complicated social world, where kindness and connection really matter. Prosocial lies, when used with love and wisdom, are one of the most natural, if counterintuitive, tools we have. They aren't a failure of good parenting, they are an expression of it. The goal isn't to raise a child who never lies. The goal is to raise a child who understands why and when honesty needs to be balanced with compassion. If you're ready to trade in some of that parenting guilt for psychological wisdom, make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments, what's a good lie you've told that you now realize was actually a moment of brilliant parenting?